Hello, this is Braden, and this is going to be my response for the belonging module of reflection. You have the answers number 1, 2, 3, but I kind of want to start off with the third point, which was discuss two discussion posts. And I chose two posts from the same discussion. It was for the first half of Belonging, chapters 1 through 8. The two First off, I want to discuss Sarah Palma's response, which was when I began reading this book, it was very confusing because I did not understand the layout of it. I was concerned that I had not gotten the correct book. After examining it for a little more, I was beginning to understand how the book was formatted. This has been the very first book I've read of this type of layout, and to me, it is a very interesting and creative, and I have to say that I'm fond of it. Her response it was a very good reflection of how I felt when I first came across this book. I was I was also kind of like, ooh, this is different, but I quickly came to love the artistic format that was utilized throughout the book. The use of imagery, images, art, it added so much more to the book. I felt like they could have otherwise been had it not been like that. The second response I chose was Jordan Flores's from the same discussion. Um, and his response was, I was very surprised when I found out how different Krug set up her book, how different Krug's setup of her book was. The comic strip like setup makes it so much easier to follow along with the book, and even with the deep message, like the page that I entered it above. And it has a simple breakdown of pictures that helps you get a better picture of your mind of what's going on. And I usually only read books when they're required for class because I would rather listen to them with audio. But this book's unique style helped me comprehend what I was reading faster. And his response goes a little longer, but I kind of want to end it there. Um, I, this book kind of, as a educational standpoint, as a future teacher standpoint, this type of book really helps those. I'm not trying to talk bad about him, but those who may have difficulty reading, paying attention, ADHD, a more interactive experience with the book where it adds so much more to the picture, it can really help individual students out. And I found this book to be such a useful source for that. Now I want to answer the point one. How does the belonging matter to my life, my thinking, my world? And in what ways might reading this benefit me in the future? And for that, I feel like, the belonging, it added so much to my life, like it's a great book. I feel like I've actually learned a lot just from reading it. But how it matters to my thinking, my world is, and this is also kind of related to Adichie, for the number two one. I don't have any specific moments, but I guess a specific moment, is she's told all of her life how her grandfather might have not been a true Nazi sympathizer, but someone that's kind of went with the road. He did not do much, that's in the beginning of the book. We kind of get that image that she's pretty much knows that he did not do much, that he was just a simple person who was kind of roped into it. But later on, he proclaims himself as a Nazi in the for Digi. She's learned all of her life, but then she finally gets to see his little card where it says where he proudly put that he was a Nazi, and that completely shattered her image of him. And it kind of shows how it's not maybe a danger, but the safety of a single story. She probably felt a lot better about her grandfather until she learned that, and now she probably doesn't like him too much. And a second one would be the mushrooms. I mean, and this is kind of somewhat from my point of view. I never realized how significant the mushrooms were to the German people. It's one of those things where I really don't even think of Germany as like a mushroom area, like Deutschland or any of that area. Europe as like a large mushroom populace, and the different those pages concerning the poison mushrooms, the little outfit that was made for the daughter, they were all so beautiful and also oh, I loved it so much. Um, I don't know if you have any more books like this, Dr. King, but if you do, I'd love to read them in the future. This is my response for the reflection. Thank you very much.